Hey Strikers, welcome back to another Dev Chat here for Paladins Strike. My name is Raynday, and I'm joined by, again, Brian and, of course, HiRezBrew Scott to help us talk about the upcoming updates for our wonderful mobile game based in the Paladins universe, The Realm. How are you guys doing today, first off?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
I'm so good because I just got our development schedule for the next 2 months. Yeah. At least what we're planning, and I'm like, yes. All of this looks like what I want it to to look like. So it's exciting.
Exciting. A lot of updates.
I can't spoil it all, though, on this one. I gotta spread it out.
Okay.
I gotta spread it out.
Okay, all
There's
right.
someone gazing at me in the corner.
Okay, all right. He's got his
our community manager.
Exactly. Watching over carefully, making sure nothing is said that's wrong. Well, you know, we have a relatively shorter episode today, but we do have some very important things to talk about in the episode. So if you're listening now, there's a lot of good chunks in here, but we're not going to take too long on it. The first big thing that's happening is next patch, you guys are getting a new champion, and his name is Strix.
That's right.
We had a really cool spoiler that Brew put together, which you will have already seen by this point, but like I was so excited for Strix to join because I feel right now, you know, the sniper role, it's dominated by Kinessa. So if you want to play sniper, you have to play Kinessa. And there's pros and cons to her, right? I mean, people have learned the different positioning around the map and where you can get good angles to be safe. But ultimately, she's rooted in place when she's sniping. And even though she's very powerful, you know, there are some clear downsides to her play style. So for Strix, we wanted to get you a little more mobile. So Strix, when he goes into sniper mode, can actually move very slowly. He has greatly reduced movement speed, but he can move. And I'm so worried to say this because I feel like people are going to be like, he's so OP.
I'll say it first.
His sniper shots penetrate. So you can actually hit multiple people.
Who thought of
with
this?
a sniper?
One shot, 2 kills.
It's not obviously he's not going to hit as hard as Kinessa since her shots don't penetrate.
Sure.
But it's a really cool mechanic where, you know, if people are bunched up or you get that really good angle or you need to move a little bit, now you're a little more mobile, you're doing a little less damage. But if you're able to hit 2 people at the same time, you can really have a big impact on the fight.
Absolutely.
And it's cool because he has the swap weapons, so he also has his pistol,
right,
where he can fire close range, and that's also pretty strong. I think he's going to be really good.
So let's. I love the overall thoughts on it, and that's really cool. That it's a sniper that can counter Kinessa, different play style that can move. His shots penetrate. I'm assuming not shields. They don't penetrate through shields, or do
no, they don't.
Okay,
yeah,
and not through walls.
If that happens, it's a bug. That's all. That would all be bugs, but I'm pretty sure that's not in there.
So let's walk through the abilities that you brought in with Strix, because you obviously have to take one away from the Paladin Strix. So what are the abilities you've chosen, and how they work in this?
Yeah. So we talked about the swap weapon, and then also we have stealth.
Yeah,
which
stealth is a big part.
Yeah, and it works just like we have 2 kinds of stealths in the game. So we have one where you're close and you're revealed, and one where you're not revealed at all. It's the not revealed at all one. So that's how it works. But there's a charge bar. So similar to like Fernando, where once your shield goes down, even if it's off cooldown, it will have reduced health unless you give it time to restore. The stealth also has energy bar that's separate on your HUD for the character's health and ammo.
Very cool.
And then the ultimate is
snipe.
Flashbang.
Yeah.
It feels like snipe because he's so good.
That's scary. That's scary to hear because it's like, this is my ultimate, right?
Penetrating shot.
That's just your normal basic attack. That's how Strix feels in Paladins, though. Trust me.
He blinds you, right? So your screen will turn white. It's not like the closed-in thing that we have going on with like Maeve's ultimate, where there's a giant fog of war around you. The screen flashes white and then it slowly fades away. Okay. And so during that time, he's obviously able to move around. And you're totally blind, just like you would expect. And he's just good.
Can this be avoided with line of sight? Can I turn around, run the other way, and not get blinded?
No.
That's pretty good then. That's
you
pretty
need
good.
to just not get hit.
Okay. All right.
And the reason, by the way, we tested that. The reason why we did it the way we did is people were confused in our user testing when they were hitting the flashbang.
Gotcha.
But the people weren't blind. They're like, well, I used my ultimate. I saved for this and I got nothing. Like, what the heck? And so we're like, all right, well, top down, maybe that's a little too confusing for people.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's exciting. I mean, Brew, did you notice anything interesting that this character is going to bring in terms of the dynamic of the roster that's being played right now, mostly in
It's
Realm?
definitely the mobility during snipe. When I first saw that, because that's the coolest part about Kinessa is when you start moving with her. But obviously, she's much more powerful with her shot. So being able to, I guess, set up a good spot and snipe the point, maybe hit a couple of people at the same time will put some pressure on the team. Maybe while your guys are respawning, Strix can kind of keep some control, some utility there.
Yeah, and for players who are tuning in, who are maybe newer to the Paladin Strike world, Kinessa moves during her ultimate.
Right, but not during while she's normally shooting.
Yes.
Gotcha. Well, this will be great. I mean, I'm really excited, and again, players will have a chance to test out Strix coming in. You already dropped Saris, and I'm sure that's been cool seeing her come into the game as well. So new champions added very quickly from you guys, kicking butt. I want to talk about this as well because I've asked this question to you guys over the last several updates from people suggesting, when is a new mode coming out? When are we going to have something else we can try? It's here. King mode will be arriving to Paladin Strike. Now, what the heck is King mode?
Do you want to talk about it a bit?
Sure, I'll talk about it. I love this mode. So it's like team deathmatch. When you're in the pre-select lobby, it's going to ask if you want to run for king or if you want to give up your shot at being king. If nobody is chosen, if nobody wants to be king, someone will be chosen at random. And basically the whole point of the king mode is that it's a team deathmatch where you're going to have 2 VIPs or 2 kings on each side, and there's infinite respawns until one of the king dies. And then that king's team will stop respawning. And then at that point, it just becomes a deathmatch till everybody's shut down. And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Totally new map.
Yeah. Wow.
Built for the mode. So
Cool.
I know people are interested in getting more maps. This is the first new map, but there's others that are coming.
Super cool.
And also, when you run for king, if you're selected, you have significantly more health than other players. I forget the exact number, but it's like 10 times health. I mean, it's a lot. And what happens is your health slowly drains over time. So you can't just like hide in the corner and not do anything. I mean, that is a strategy, right? If you don't want to contribute to the fight. Your damage is the same. So it's only your health that's boosted up. And then, like I said, drains over time. And so you can participate in the fight and you can afford to take some damage. But I think the strategy is going to be like, hey, how do I help my team, but also not get hit too much so that we don't lose respawns first. And even if you lose respawns, if like say your king goes down, if the other king's low, your team still has that chance to come in and make the big play, which has been really exciting for internal playtests. And we're hoping plays out similarly when everyone else gets their hands on it. There's
also this cool dynamic that's when I have the king up, I have this totally different gameplay experience versus when my king's down. And there is no respawn. It's my last life. You have to play that like you would an overtime situation, 99-99, and you have to win the point, otherwise game over. So I like that the stakes change with this, and it's already really readable in the way you guys have described the mode. So this should be really fun for people to be able to play. I can't wait to give it a try. And I think we're all really excited to see that coming into Paladin Strike soon. Brian, I wanted to give you just a few moments to talk about the economy as well. You said you had some points you wanted to mention on that for fans listening.
Yeah, so I'll continue to apologize for us not properly communicating about tickets and fragments. I feel really bad about that, actually. And I'm glad that people have given us a chance and tried the system and seen that, you know, fragments isn't maybe as painful as some people thought it would be in terms of the time it takes for you to earn a new champion just by playing the game, not spending any money. But we did have to make some adjustments to that system because what we were seeing is in the economy, people were getting a huge excess of tickets. So when we were looking at the average ticket count across players, they were just all wealthy. And it sounds cool, right? It's like, yeah, I want to be wealthy. Like, give me all the tickets. But what happens is it actually causes player burnout. And it really decreases the value of that currency. So it's hard for us to use it elsewhere and to make it good. So we, you know, in that instance, it's a mistake that we made on the initial design, and we have to pull back from that. Anytime you take something away from people, it doesn't feel good, right? If I own 20 Nutter Butter bars and then I only
just
get
a random
one,
example,
just a random example, not on the table or anything. You know, I'm disappointed to only have one. So that's kind of what happened here. And we have to pull it back even more. So on Sunday, which is when we're going to update with Strix and also King mode, we will also be modifying the rewards for playing ranked. So right now you get a lot of gold, a lot of tickets, and you also get a bunch of rune chests. Unfortunately, that is also causing problems in the economy. and I really wanted to keep it. You can blame me, by the way. This was my design. I was like, you have to let people every week get lots of rewards and feel really good. And the design teams come back with this report, and they're like, you were wrong, and also it's totally breaking the game. And I was like, oh, whoops. Okay, so what do we need to do to fix it? So there's a post that went out earlier this week that explains how we're fixing it and gets into the details there around reducing the gold, reducing the tickets, and no longer giving rune chests.
Yeah.
And we think it should be okay with the mystery shop now, where you can buy more direct the runes that you want, and you have an opportunity to refresh and level up the characters. But unfortunately, this is another area where, I told them to be really generous. It was a mistake. We were, it was having damage on the game, and so now we're balancing it backwards. So I'm very sorry. Hopefully this time we're giving you more notice, and of course this week you'll get the normal rewards.
Right.
But every week moving forward, it's going to be these reduced rewards, again, to balance out the economy and make sure that the game can be sustainable and do well.
Yeah, long term, that's what you got to look for. So I think it's great. We've gone through similar things, economy adjustments in Paladins, so I completely understand it, and ultimately ends up working out better. But that transition period is very important to just let everybody know what's going on and the reasons why. So we have a few questions to end this episode. I'll pass them to both you guys. Let's send it to Brew first, I think. I want to use the default skin, someone says, and the bonus forces me to use the skins I have. Any chance we can get the skin perks unlocked on default skins?
That's a really good question. I think that might be a better question for you to answer, Brian, but I mean, I don't want to give my opinion on it before you speak, so why don't you help me with that?
Well, you can always give your opinion.
Well, okay.
We're not that way. We're not like a dictator. You can say whatever you'd like.
I think that's a very good question, and it brings up a very good point. If I have a skin unlocked for a character, but I want to play the default skin, and I have the bonus on my account, I would feel like I should be able to enable that bonus.
Yeah, it's a good point. I would love to add that. I think we'll definitely put it on our discussion list. Mm-hmm. Part of the problem for development is, everything takes time, so we have to set priorities. So definitely, I want to give people more customization and freedom.
Yeah.
And in that respect, allow you to use the original skin and not have to equip something else. But it's probably lower on the priority list at the moment.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. With future plans you want to implement, does only having a few dev team members on Paladin Strike affect that? I have also heard that you guys have a Chinese-based team that helps with the development. Is the language barrier a problem at times for you guys?
I don't think the language barrier is so much of a challenge. We have some really good folks facilitating communication. I think the bigger challenges that we have is time zone.
Yeah.
Because we're 12 to 13 hours apart, depending on what time of year it is. And then also cultural differences, not just in how people interact with each other, but in gaming preferences. Right. Because mobile gaming in China and PC gaming in China are quite a bit different than here. And there's no console gaming really in China. It's not that big. So mobile has really become the console gaming for China. I think that the preferences there have created some challenges for us. So one of the things that we're going to correct on a translation in the hotfix is some language related to how people are earning Battle Pass XP. Right now, the presentation looks like, hey, you're earning a base level and then a bonus, but the bonus isn't working. But actually it is. It's just the way that they would present that information and the way we would present that information is different.
It's different.
And that's just a small and that's just a small example for like UI. But those kinds of subtle differences apply to gameplay, apply to design, apply to all different kinds of areas. And so I think sometimes there's some challenges with that. But I mean, I love our team. I think they're really great. They work super hard. I don't think they've taken a weekend off in like 6 months. I mean, it's crazy. They're super passionate about this. And they're definitely rock stars in leading the project. And we're really more here to support them. So all the development happens in Shenzhen. We plan with them and we help with design and we create visual direction for certain pieces of the game and certainly community and distribution and game operations, all of that stuff is handled here in Atlanta with our team.
Right.
But the actual core development, that's all in Shenzhen.
Yeah. Wow.
With this rockstar team that just doesn't quit.
Yeah. It seems like whatever there may be that could be maybe a cultural difference or just a stylistic difference, preference from that region to maybe America, where you guys are having the vision, seems to be really easily overcome because of the fact that everyone loves the game and wants to find the best middle ground as fast as possible. So
absolutely. They're super passionate about the project, and so are we. I mean, we just love playing the game, so we want to add more and more and more, and they want to add more and more and more. So we're just both like working together to get as much as we can into the game as possible. And their artists are amazing. It's just such a pleasure to work with.
Oh, yeah.
The assets that we get from them and to collaborate on their side. So really
when
great.
they add us to the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about that art. I mean, I gotta say, Maveskin was nice. No. Yeah. All right. No, I'm kidding. But great job overall. The art, definitely. I've said it before. Probably the best skins I've seen implemented almost in all of hi-rez games. They're incredible.
They're awesome.
And the cover art, the thumbnail art, essentially, is just disgustingly beautiful. That's the only way I could describe it. Last question here to finish this up, and thanks for joining us today, guys. Are you gonna add overtime on the point when it's 99% when an enemy/ally is on it?
Okay. Yeah, so it's in today.
It's in.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You didn't notice.
Amen.
Contest more.
There it is.
We did. We added in the last patch.
Thank God.
I can't remember if we included it in the notes or not. It might have slipped, but it might have been included. Was it included?
Well, it's included
slipped.
now.
It slipped. But it is there. So that was a community request.
Right.
We're working on our patch notes process to try and refine to make sure that nothing slips and we're getting all the changes in.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it's hard with as fast as we're moving. But definitely, that's in now. So if no one's on the point and it's at 99%, it's going to end and that's it. But as long as you touch the point and you're contesting it, when it hits 99, you'll trigger that overtime, and then you can keep triggering it by just new people coming in and contesting.
Great.
And I found that the games play better that way.
Yeah, they seem more competitive. It's definitely more of a fight.
Yeah.
The community has good ideas.
Yeah. We should keep listening.
We are listening. We definitely have heard a lot of what's been said, and we're evaluating other ideas that have been shared and see how we can get them in and test them and hopefully get most of them live.
Well, awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. It's been a shorter dev chat, but we did want to check in with you all this week. So strikers, keep on striking. We'll have an update on Sunday for you. Thanks again for Lionheart, Brian, and HiRezBrew, Scott, for joining me on the dev chat today. My name is Raynday, and as always, friends, remember to never give up, never stop gaming. We will see you all in the realm.